All right, people, welcome back to the Kaiba Show. This week, Disney's famous high-flying elephant is back in town to give us a wonderful show, so let's get it.
Welcome to the Kaiba Show.
All right, people, so Dumbo is starring Colin Farrell, Danny DeVito, and Michael Keaton. It's directed by Tim Burton. And basically, the premise of this movie is we have a baby elephant that's born with extraordinary ears that give him the capability of flight. And he ends up getting separated from his mom. And with the help of his newfound friends in the circus, they try to help him to reunite with his mom. So, let me start off by saying what worked for the movie. First off, let me just get this out the way. As a fanboy of Tim Burton and a lot of his movies, I like to just say that I was really enjoying how there was like a mini Batman Returns reunion in this movie because we had Tim Burton as the director and Michael Keaton and Danny DeVito was back in this movie under his tutelage. And I just felt like, as a fanboy of a lot of Tim Burton films, especially his Batman franchise, I just wanted to get that out the way that I love to see the two of them back on the screen together. So now let's get back to Dumbo. So what worked for the movie, the movie was visually stunning. A lot of the scenes was breathtaking. Tim Burton, as usual, per usual, he threw his little Tim Burton twist. So there's certain scenes where the colors are vibrant, very colorful. Then there's other scenes where, it's the traditional Tim Burton where it's a little bit darker tones. But other than that, overall, the visuals were stunning. I think the CGI was pretty well done. Yeah, there's certain times where obviously you could tell Dumbo is CGI, or you could tell the monkey or certain other animals are CGI. But overall, they did a real good job. Like there's certain scenes in the movie with the CGI where the animals get emotional. Dumbo gets emotional, or his mom gets emotional, and you could see like the emotion in their face. And I felt like that was good CGI. There's certain parts where like Dumbo was tearing up, and you could like see like the water in his eyes. And for me, I feel like that's good visual effects. So shout out to the visual effects team on this movie because they did an awesome job. I feel like the acting was pretty good. There's nobody in this movie that I could really complain with. I mean, we have some A-listers in here. We have Colin Farrell. We got Michael Keaton. Shout out to Michael Keaton. I love Michael Keaton. You got Danny DeVito in this movie. So we had some real big heavy hitters in this movie. And even some of the other cast in the movie, they did a good job. Like the kids, I enjoyed the kids acting. So there's nothing I can really say that was bad about the acting. Story was pretty good. Obviously, they put their little twist on it. It's not the traditional Dumbo storyline from the animated movie, but they put their own little twist on it. Tim Burton got to throw his stuff in here. So the storyline was pretty good. It's not a bore fest. I feel like this movie is definitely a fun, family-oriented movie. I feel like you could bring the kids, even if they didn't see the original Dumbo movie. I feel like this is a movie for all ages where you're going to go in there and you're going to really, really enjoy the storytelling. And like I said, the movie is very visual. Effects are on point. So whether or not you've seen the movie, if you did see the movie growing up as a kid, I feel like you're going to feel like a child again. For me, when Dumbo took his first flight, it made me think back to when I was a kid, when I first saw him take his first flight in the original animated movie. Yeah, that's not from my generation, but I still grew up watching that movie a few times growing up. So I feel like this movie definitely has the magic that the little kids are going to definitely enjoy it. And another thing that I liked about the movie was Tim Burton brought back Danny Elfman. They have partnered up on a lot of movies in the past. So when you hear the score in this movie, it's definitely going to bring you back to a lot of old Tim Burton films like Batman Returns, Edward Scissorhands. There's going to be a scene in there where a lot of people are going to know what I'm talking about when you hear the score. And I felt like the score was pretty good for this movie. I like Danny Elfman. I like Tim Burton. So I like when they team up because they make magic. So when you hear the score of the movie, it very, very just reminds you of the typical Tim Burton music that we're used to getting in a lot of his movies. And I felt like that's worked for the movie. As far as what didn't work for the movie, there's nothing I could really say. I'll be nitpicking at this point, but I feel like the movie overall was a well-made movie. It was pretty good, and it's worth taking the kids. All right, people, so with that being said, on the Kaiba scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this movie a solid 8. Overall, this movie was very, very well made, very, very good. Like I said, prior to this, the visuals are breathtaking. They're stunning. Acting's on point. Storyline was pretty good, and I think people of all ages are going to go into this movie and they're going to really, really enjoy it. So it's definitely worth seeing in IMAX and it's definitely worth seeing on Blu-ray. So I feel like this is a movie that you have to go take the kids to go see it because they're really, really going to enjoy it. So if you like what you see and you want to see more, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you get notified every time I upload a video, and leave a comment and hit the like button at the bottom.